Hi, welcome. I'm Nisa Hayden. I'm one of the co-curators here, and I just want to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming out for Second Saturday for a show that we could have called Bowled Over. I mean, take a look around, right? We could have called it that, but we didn't. It's called, as you see on the statement board, there are two generations of painting, and that's because, two generations of painting. And when I spoke with Mark, when I spoke with you about it, you said it's really three.
Yeah.
Because your mother was an artist.
Yes, my mom was a painter and a sculptor.
Yeah, so I thought I would like to open with having you tell us a little bit about how having your mom as an artist influenced you.
Sure, it did big time. So I grew up in the Bay Area quite a few days ago, and there was no traffic at the time. So from our house in Orinda to the Museum of Modern Art in San Francisco was 20 minutes from door to door. It was just easy. So we went there an awful lot. I think I saw every show that came in since I was probably 5 or 7 till 18. So there's like the Impressionist show, there was King Tut show, huge big shows that traveled to San Francisco. This was back in the day. So, and they would go to different galleries in San Francisco. They saw Richard Devencorn, and I think his painting was 10,000, and they couldn't justify buying that because that was too much money, they thought, for a painting. But now it would have been worth millions. That must be on the street. So she, any kind of artwork that I wanted to do, she would fund and support and let me do that. She bought the supplies and all that. She put me in ceramic classes at Walnut Creek Center. I got to meet an awful lot of artists that were somewhat important in the Bay Area culture. Peter Volkus, people like that. Later on. So I entered into arts and crafts college, CCAC, they called it then, and in my mind I still call it that. They changed the name to CCA, and now it's closed Oakland campus. It's in San Francisco. So I went through college on merit scholarships, and then I got into the master's program in Berkeley and about 2 years in, then I quit. And it was kind of being overfilled from education and the esoteric qualities of what it's really about. And usually in college, they want you to be the next biggest rock star and rethinker of the world. And, it wasn't that nobody could do it, but it was over the top. At the same time, my whole family was falling apart. I lost my brother, I lost my father. So it was too much to think that this esoteric thing called art would take me anywhere. It just wasn't doing it. So I had a big disconnect for a long time with art and doing any kind of painting or anything. And then I started doing it for myself and then got back in the stream of it. That really doesn't answer your question. That's really my life story. So,
well, it does, though. Okay. I mean, it gives certainly some of your origin story.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
My dad was a court reporter, which is those people you see with the little...
Yeah.
He did that, and he had a pretty big firm. They didn't go into court anymore. They did depositions, personal liability. He said if I wanted to go to art school, I had to learn how to type so I could type the notes that he took from depositions. So I used to type 75 words a minute. My wife, Debbie, types about 85 words a minute. Mm-hmm. So, what? Not true? Okay. Seems true. How much do you type?
I don't know. Irrelevant.
Yeah, I know. So I had to type so I could go to CCAC. Okay.
It's very good. So Jessica, it's a very similar question for you because you also credit having an artist father for you being an artist and his influence on you.
Yeah.
And I notice a little echo there where he says, when I started to paint for myself, and you say the same thing in your statement.
Exactly the same thing.
So kind of talk about your...
Okay, so I have no college education in art like my dad. I went directly from high school into pretty much admin office work, and I thought that was, my calling. And then later, growing up, realizing that I need like an outlet, and so I started getting back into art. I was really into art in high school, and then kind of got out of it, and then slowly got into it, just using it as a therapeutic outlet for me, and then realizing that it felt so good.
Yeah.
It feels like when I paint still now, it feels like I'm like shedding off 100 pounds of weight, just dead weight, because it's so therapeutic. And I just kept doing that, and I kept it to myself pretty much until about 5 years ago. My dad and my husband gave me the courage to start posting online just to see what people would say, and I got such a huge positive reaction that it really helped give me the courage to start doing this professionally. And now it's all I want to do.
Yep.
Not just because it's to make money, it's more like it's a freeing experience, painting and having people actually look at your work and compliment. There's no feeling. It's so euphoric for me, and that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We both go to art for the similar reason, and a lot of artists don't mention this, but you're driven there to have a conversation with the canvas or a conversation with yourself through the canvas, and you get to be able to meditate while you paint. You're able to resolve all sorts of things. I think there's a misguidance or a misknowledge about what artists do, or the ones that I know. A lot of people seem to think that you pick a theme or a thought, and then you paint about that. I don't do that. Jessica doesn't do that. We both take a canvas and just start painting.
I just start throwing paint,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it turns into one of these.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what happened
Yeah.
during the time.
That's
Completely
good.
black out.
It's very cathartic. It resolves a lot. Yeah, and that's why it's so important for both of our lives. Is that a vacuum cleaner?
I don't. I have no idea. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's interesting, because my third question was going to kind of be about that, but maybe I'll circle back to that in a minute. Because Mark, what I wanted to ask you about is that many of your paintings, and many of them in the show, explore time and the passage of time and weather.
Yeah.
Really. And so I think that's an interesting thing to talk about.
I'm not sure. It started organically. It was growing organically from years of painting. So I've been painting over 50 years now, professionally showing, not always making a living, but showing. So I liked Rothko, which is a painter. If you don't know that, everybody here does. Rothko and Diebenkorn were my ones that I could just stare at forever and get inspired from. So my series used to be more minimal landscape, just an atmosphere and a foreground for the earth. And so I kept doing layers and layers and layers, and you started to get this feeling of time in it. And so then I just kind of focused on that and wanted to work with the atmosphere separately than the earth. And then I wanted to bring time in, like some of these that have the window within the painting. And so that is supposed to be one moment compared to the whole painting, which is another moment. And then out of that in painting came, what did I think about death and what happened after death? I have no religious background. My mother went to a Catholic school when the nuns still had rulers. And she was, the best thing I think I ever heard about her, she said religions just do nothing but start wars. And that's about the best thing she ever said about it. So I was trying to figure out and define what I thought what happens after death. Of course, nobody knows. But so I started putting these Gate to Heaven paintings together. So there would be one moment or one process. Sometimes it's lighter, sometimes it's darker in the center compared to the large scale of the painting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to circle back a little to, maybe you've already answered it fully, but this question was for both of you, and it goes back to the fact that you don't have a premeditated idea of what you're going to do when you face the blank canvas initially. You say you kind of black out.
Yeah.
You just throw paint on and
Yeah,
then there's a painting.
it's true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's true.
It's a little terrifying.
Scary.
To think about.
I know.
Grandma's painting.
Yeah. But Mark, I bet you don't black out.
No.
No. So when
Not painting.
yeah. So when you start, you go in the studio, and you can speak to a specific painting if you want. That might be easier than generally, or no? Okay.
I like birds.
Okay.
When I have a 600 square foot studio, 600 square foot storage area right next to it. So it's like two garages. I raised the floor in my studio so it would be more comfortable on wood instead of cement. So I have one wall that I paint on. So I put a blank canvas up. Usually they're large scale. Right now it's like 4 by 5. And when I look at a blank canvas, I see nothing but images. So I see directions that I could go with that. And it's probably from my memory of paintings that I've done that are being flashed up on this white canvas. And what makes sense to me, it's usually the horizon line. And if you look, most of my work has a horizon line down in the bottom third. That's the only thing that feels really comfortable for me to put the horizon line there. Probably 10 years ago, the horizon line was way up at top. And I just did foreground. I worked on the foreground, and that was like kind of like the skies or the painting, so it was the foreground. So it's that combination of using the atmosphere and landscape to work off each other, and have two ideas: how you define landscape and how you define the atmosphere. So I think in the future, I might drop the landscape and just work on atmosphere paintings. That's what I think I'm wanting to do. But now that I said it, it probably never will happen. That's how things go. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, and so if you guys are both cool with it, can we let anybody else ask a question?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Anyone have a question? All right, Marianne.
So do you ever work in the studio together?
A couple times.
Couple times.
Not very long.
I
We like to have our own space.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
like.
I think I might have answered it. Does Dad maybe suggest anything to you? Or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Before, yeah. So before I finish, or I say I finish any painting, I FaceTime him. I show him every single painting, and I'm like, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Every painting, and I ask him how he likes it, and then I'll zoom in and I'll get close and I'll show him, like, do you like this part or this part? And he'll be like, well, that part, no, change this. Or he'll be like, wow, that's amazing, I love it, don't touch it.
Yeah.
I have a problem with loving something so much I can't stop touching it, and then I destroy it and I paint over it because I can't. Even my husband's like, it's good, leave the room.
Yeah.
You're gonna ruin it if you keep touching it. So yeah, I FaceTime him with everything. We've painted maybe 3 different times before, but
I like to paint alone.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
In our own space with our own energy. I can't. It's even hard just to have my husband around painting. I have to have my soul energy, and he's the same way.
Yeah.
It affects everything.
That's not fun to paint.
Yeah, so that's good. Like, how can you stop?
No.
No.
And I am very careful with my words with her, and have been in any kind of promotion. Like, this is the first time we've shown together. The gallery in Santa Fe, I sent them some of her work last year because I felt it was competent enough to be shown in Santa Fe. And she took it, and they sold one, and they sent the other 2 back months later. But I've just been very careful. I was pushed a lot by my mom. Yeah, I know what that is, because all of a sudden you feel like, I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing it for you. And, you want your parents' adoration or whatever about what you're doing and approval. But anyway, I just didn't want to push her at any point to follow my footsteps. Being an artist is not an easy business to do, to run. It takes a lot to, it takes many years before you can persevere and make a career out of it.
But I will circle on that.
She's got to circle back.
I will
on that.
circle back.
No, I'm very careful. I don't want to.
Yeah, but you've been telling me since high school to do art for a living because I'm good at it, and I said no, I don't want to do that. It's scary. But here we are, 25 years later, and now I'm doing it.
Once or twice.
No, you said it a lot.
Did I? I didn't know that.
And I said, no, I want to work in a cubicle like my mom. Because that's my calling.
So this
No.
is our last talk.
This is it.
You can hold the mic. Keep going. You're doing great.
I'm good.
Stephen.
I'm very impressed with the color that you use. And then also the issue about sometimes you don't use any color. What motivates you around?
I have no idea. Honestly, it's the mood of the day. It's the mood, and it doesn't mean these more neutral, calmer, whitewashed ones here don't necessarily mean that I was feeling dull or whatever that day. It's just literally what I felt that day. I wanted to use that color palette, and then on the other hand, you have the other paintings like this one in the other back room. I just feel like wild. Like I need to just like get crazy, and that's when the colors come out. I think it's just all depending on the day and the mood.
Very
Unpredictable.
Good question.
Yeah. Thank you.
Myself, I'm what they call a natural colorist. I don't think about color. I mix colors. I don't think about it. It just, as I apply it, I know my eye works with it or not. And so, I challenge my eye. I know, like when I do review her paintings or critique her paintings, I know how to make your eye move around a canvas. That's something you learn after years of painting. So if she does, and she hasn't got to that point yet, to really be able to control that. But so I can say, well, my eye goes here, but it's not going around the canvas, so it's not going to come back out. So you will, after a while, get bored looking at that painting. You want a painting that's engaging for a long time. You don't want it just to be a 2-second look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you mix your colors on the canvas?
Yeah.
Do you work things out on the canvas?
Sometimes on the canvas, and sometimes I'll stand up. So I will walk here with the canvas and harden floor, and then there's 2 cushions, those things mats that you stand on, like
The yoga mats.
So that I turn here, and all I do, and this is all full of like 80 cans of paint. Or more full of paint. So I buy in bulk, because I'm afraid we're going to go broken and later on. So I turn here and then I go back, and then sometimes I'm holding onto a cane, depending. Sometimes I'm just standing there. But that's my world, 2 foot by 2 foot. Here, that's all I do. Yeah, I don't paint outside. I don't put plein air. I don't do that. I don't work for photographs. I work for memory. It's really more of an effect or emotional, what I remember. Nothing here is real. Including me.
Anything else? Anybody else?
Caitlin.
Oh.
Hi, Caitlin.
So, you take your inspiration, you say like on trips, I remember you would see something and you would remember it in your mind, so I want to paint that, and that's kind of where some of the landscapes come from. For you said you just kind of black out, you know, before you step in to start painting, you have something in mind, anything, any picture of landscape you want to go for?
No, but when I do, not really, but when I do, like, so, this is of Tahoe, that's Mojave Desert, that's Santa Fe. Those are all landscapes of, I guess I would say, a memory of visiting those places, and it kind of just appears. Just starting out making mountains, because one day I wanted to make mountains, and then I'm like, okay, well, this is starting to look like Tahoe, or this is starting to look like Mojave Desert, just because of the colors I start using, and then I kind of just lean into that.
So you've got one of the other rooms, blue, white, red.
Yeah, Donner Lake.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I was going to try that.
Yeah.
Jessica, do you listen to music?
24/7. I am married a musician, and we own a music shop, so it's 24/7.
Music.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Ross, my husband, he'll play the guitar while I paint,
So everyone knows.
and he'll play guitar, or sometimes like I need you to leave the house. I'm gonna blast Metallica or Nirvana, and I'm gonna paint. It just depends on the day, the mood.
I think that a lot of artists use the metronome, the tick, 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 tick. They do that to keep it a pattern and a rhythm. I don't use that, but what I do is I play the same song on repeat for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a certain energy I get from it, and I don't have to think about it. But then if I tune out the painting, I'll tune into the music that I like Talking Heads or something like that. Lately,
Janis Joplin.
oh God, my whole life was, most of those were from that. I did see her, and I am deaf. So there's something about the connection between music and painting because yeah, I don't paint in a quiet studio normally. It's I need energy, so you pull it from that.
Yeah.
You can. Yes.
What song of did you say you listened to?
Metallica.
Yeah, thank you. Talking Heads. What Talking Heads did you listen to on repeat, and what painting?
And what was the second part?
What painting?
What Talking Heads?
Oh.
And what painting did you make while listening to Talking Heads?
You know, I know on the album or the track that I have, it's number 8. But I heard it from Santa Fe to Telluride to home, and my dash was so hot I could barely touch it. And with it, right before I got home, the whole CD on the car blew out. So that was like 2 days of it. What was the other part?
What painting came out of it?
I can't say. I mean, they're all. It'll go on throughout the whole painting, or shift halfway, but it's this repetitive, energetic music for some people, the metronome, which now Debbie's using, my wife, because she's learning piano, because she wants to play like Bill.
Yes.
For both of you, do you start a painting and fully finish it until it's completed, or do you do a little bit here in this one, a little bit there, and rotate back?
Good question.
Rotate.
I work at like 16 at the same time.
Oh.
It's constant rotation because I get bored. I have like major ADD, so I'll work on a painting, walk away from it, and then start a new one. And then I have so many unfinished paintings, I'm out of control. And then I have to circle back around and finish them. That's kind of how it always is. I just get so bored right off the bat. Or like I'll start a really colorful one, and then for like 2 days I'll work on it, and then the third day I'll need a break, and then I'll start one of these more neutral colored ones.
Does it get overwhelming to know you have so many paintings that are not finished?
Yeah.
Or you just don't think about
Totally.
it?
Yeah, it's like weighing on the back of my mind 24/7, and I have no room left.
I was going to say, I've seen your studio. Oh, 16.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite. So I will, because I've tried to do a couple at a time, because it seems like, well, if you're doing this, you're mixing this color, you can just go through. I think Bernard, he never finished. He always dabbed paint on all of his canvases that he had before they went out, or if they'd come back in, he'd keep painting. Condos even, the great Condos, our local hero here, he used it constantly. If someone asked him to touch it up, he would start reworking the whole painting. You couldn't tell him what area it was at. So I know now from practice, I only can have one painting open at a time. And I do that. I used to be able to paint 12 hours a day. That doesn't happen anymore. So I paint on one painting until it's done. That takes a week, mainly. If we're going to go on a vacation, I can't leave a painting not done because I will ruin the vacation because I don't want to be there. I want to be in my studio painting. I've done that a few times. So I know now with enough warning, like, okay, wind it up and stop. So I stop painting before any kind of vacation, so I don't have that in my back of my brain. We both approach it very differently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just get you work on the wall.
No.
You set it on an easel.
Yeah, I have 2 easels I paint on, and actually I started the first year I only painted on the ground, so I would have the canvas laying on the ground. I did not like to have it upright for some reason. I like to be on the ground with it, sitting on the ground painting, and now I've progressed to an easel. Maybe one day I'll progress to the wall, but I'm not there yet.
Well, you probably don't know this. I used to paint on the ground. That's how I.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird. I didn't know that.
You can put like cans of soup and put the cans of
Yeah.
soup off the ground and up. But what I found is that when you try to do perspective of any sort, this is back when I was doing more representation work, when you put it back up, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at a different angle.
Yeah.
So I think about 10 years to figure that one out.
Yeah.
So, but working on flat on the ground is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Karen, do you?
Oh, Marianne, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Okay. I do believe that when when sculptors do their work, they kind of have a relationship with the clay, and as it progresses, they might talk to the work.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Do you have
Yeah.
It's more or less screaming when I mess it up. Yelling at it, mad because I messed it up with the wrong color, or
I talk to it. It's like, don't go there, don't go there, you know, that kind of stuff. And then my mind was going 100 miles an hour. But yeah, I talk to it all the time. Or, oh, that looks good. And then sometimes you'll try to replicate a color or something, and it doesn't work, and it's just kind of like.
That's so.
Yeah. So you talk your work when you're working with clay.
yeah.
You know, or with the clay, you know, it can get away from you, or it can break easily. And
Yeah.
I do not allow. I mean, when it breaks, that's fine. It becomes something else.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just don't.
The
I don't
process.
deserve it.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I like the acrylic on canvas because it's such a quick process, right? I didn't care for clay because there's so many steps in it, and then drying it, then the kiln and the bisque, and blah, blah, blah. I lost interest in anything I tried to do by the time it was done. I like it wrapped up and move on. Kind of thing.
Yeah. I just like hearing the dialogue, the
Oh, yeah.
relationship with painting.
Yeah.
I think the whole time. Yeah.
It's like
In
a
my
love
mind.
affair.
A love affair?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why, did you accept your own advice when you're talking to yourself?
I probably work through things. I have an easy way to put my foot in my mouth at conversations. So, yeah, you notice? So I can rethink those things and go, well, why'd you go there? Well, who cares about that? That kind of stuff. I do that stuff too. But, yeah, I'll say it's like praying. But it is.
It's meditating.
It is meditating.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both. And
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you all so much. Please enjoy the work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent job.
Really appreciate you all.
Excellent.